All right, I think we're live.
We are live. We are live.
Get the monetization on because Daddy's gotta make some money. You know, his Daddy's gonna make a little bit of the money. Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi.
Una mattina mi sono alzato. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato invasor.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in case I don't see you, good night. Thanks for becoming a loyalist. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the $2, GI Robot. I really do appreciate that. You guys want to see something fucking nuts?
Our biggest problem is African overpopulation.
What? What? What the fuck is that?
Our biggest problem is African overpopulation.
Alex, what are you doing? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
We need our biggest.
Why does he look like him too? He kind of looks exactly like him. Meanwhile, stop calling the right-wing fascists and Nazis. That's derogatory. Why are you calling us Nazis? Brother, you're wearing a Hitler costume. Oh my god, dude, it's so fucked up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Fellas. What the fuck is going on in the United States of America? The divided states of America. Is this real? Yes, it's fucking real. Let me go to his page. Hold on. Yes, this is fucking real. Is he live right now? Here we go. Oh, he shaved it. He must have shaved it. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's so fucking nuts, bro. He's so fucking nuts. Is it? Where'd it go? Did you guys see that? There it is! Guy's a fucking nutcase, bro. The guy's a fucking nutcase. Did he shave it on stream? There it is.
Well, the most important thing is people like Glenn Prager assassination, who literally.
Oh my God.
I am a villain. In fact, I say I'm the most evil man in the world.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Zum Symbol des deutschen Volkes und Reiches erhoben.
What the fuck?
But I don't feel evil, and animals like me.
Sieg heil. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I don't know what I'm supposed... What the fuck is going on, bro? Oh, God. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Venezuela Maduro. As fascism rises worldwide, I want you to bow before the ADL. And I want you to support the destruction of free speech. Because that which stands against the state is hate. And just as the great Hakeem Jeffries said 3 days ago, when the Democratic Party gets back in power, we are going to arrest every Trump supporter and imprison you, and that's if you're lucky enough to live.
As people who
What? Okay. Dude, this is actually kind of terrifying. Yeah, dude. I mean, do you think I've been joking when I've been telling you that you are literally up against Nazis? That's the thing, is like, some people use hyperbole and they're like, these people are Nazis. And those people have done people like me a disservice, because I'm being serious. I'm telling you that you're up against Nazis, not because I like to label my opponents as Nazis. I say that because my opponents are Nazis!
una mattina mi sono alzato, un bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via. E ho trovato l'invasor.
What a fucking banger. What a banger. What a banger. Dude, that's like my prayer. You know how like Christians get scared and they start doing our Father? Like they get scared and they go, Our Father, who art in heaven. Like, dude, I get scared and I start going,
Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao.
Oh, for more context, Alex Jones is pretending that the left are Nazis. Yes, dude, remember that every accusation is a confession for these fucking people. Luigi, please stop it. Come here. Luigi. Come here. I'll give you a CEO. Come here. Weenie. Do you want a CEO? I don't think she wants one. Luigi, do you want a CEO? Come here. Luigi. Fucking guy. All right. We start off with a banger. We got some shit to talk about today, fellas. And we're going to dive into it. And you guys are here live, so you're going to get to know beforehand. All right, so Hitler is in town. Shout out Adolf Hitler. I'm talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. He's in my city. Benjamin Netanyahu is less than an hour away from me right now. Mossad? Yo, wait. No, but dead ass, though. If Benjamin Netanyahu is less than an hour away from me right now, I'm willing to bet there's some Mossad agent and I'm their case. Like, there's a bunch of Mossad agents and they all have different cases, and there's specific people throughout New York that are like, I guarantee you I'm like in a sniper scope right now. Genuinely willing to bet money on that. But anyway, Hitler's in town, and he's at the United Nations, and when he got up there to give a speech, like 70% of the room got up and fucked off. Got up and walked out. Meanwhile, then he gave a speech essentially just talking about how they're gonna finish the job and exterminate the Palestinians. By the way, did you guys know that in 1973, when we put not an embargo, but we told Israel that we weren't going to send them any more weapons, Israel threatened to nuke Gaza. That's like a real thing. That's a real thing. It's bad. Anyway. Yeah. Let me see if I can whip this up for you. What the fuck? Let's go to you. Let me show you. Got link? Yeah. Let me bring it up for you. How's everybody doing? Where is it? Here it is. Now,
these are the psychopaths.
Where did Kyle get this video from? Because I like to steal Kyle's homework. Where did you get the tweet, Kyle? Info Lib News on the 23rd. So let's check. I just sort of tap it in with Valenti and I'm impressed. Thanks, Rio. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, guys, if you're new here, I just want to remind you, this is real independent media. I have no funding. What is this?
Countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that.
All right, fuck you, I don't care. Info Lib News, was that it? Is this it? That can't be it. Where the fuck? How do I find out where this tweet actually came from? I want to know. Oh, is this it? Is he going to
Pollard. He's a U.S.-born Israeli spy. So this guy was an American. He worked for the...
Jonathan Pollard. Let's see. How do you spell that, Jonathan? Jonathan Pollard. Thanks for becoming loyalists, guys.
Believe it or not, I like Israel Katz.
I think it's towards the end.
The guy that I was talking...
Which airlift?
To Israel.
Here it is. All right, check this out.
And our army at that point to extract...
So, real quick, this is a Israeli spy. He's U.S. born, but he's an Israeli spy. He was a spy for the CIA, and then he started giving our secrets to Israel, which is treason. So, Israel offered him a position in the Israeli government, and now he's an Israeli spy. But listen to what he says. Thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate that. Check this out.
Diplomatic concessions from us. And what happened? What happened? Recent Yom Kippur War back to October 1973 during the Yom Kippur War when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. He stopped the aerial resupply of our army at that point to extract diplomatic concessions from us.
I want you to understand what this guy's saying. This guy's trying to say that Henry Kissinger thought Israel was going too far. Henry Kissinger is responsible for every single military death since 1970. That's not hyperbole. Every war and every life that has been lost since the year 1970 is because of Henry Kissinger. And this fucking monster is about to tell you that Henry Kissinger thought that Israel was going too far, so he tried to put an embargo on them. Now watch this shit.
And what happened? What happened was an A4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings. And we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway. And the next day, the airlift started. So the guy that I was talking...
Which airlift?
To Israel. The arms airlift.
So in other words, we threatened their...
We threatened to use unconventional weapons. I'll leave it at that. And so he said, is this...
I'm going to shut my blinds, but you heard what he just said, right? He said, we threaten to use unconventional weapons. What he just said is that the United States of America, Henry Kissinger, threatened to cut off the flow of weapons to Israel because they were committing a genocide on the Palestinians. And Israel's official response was, hey, look at the plane at our runway real quick. Tell me what you see. And we looked, and we saw nuclear weapons. They said, if you don't give us the weapons to kill the Palestinians, we'll just nuke them. And what did we do? We bent the knee, we kissed the Jewish ring, and we said, okay, fine, we're so sorry. Do whatever you want. That's what the fuck this was. Okay? Now, what you should have done is gone out on the world stage and said the Israelis just threatened to nuke Gaza because we don't want to arm their genocide. That's what the fuck he just said.
What you want us to threaten now? I said, absolutely, except this time I want us to go forward with it if necessary. If they think we're bluffing, we go forward with it. Look,
wait, some people might look at this and hear you saying these things and say, he's a dangerous dude. You know, he could, you know, blow up the entire Middle East.
Well, I guess people really haven't been keeping their eyes open since October 7th because the whole Middle East has blown up.
I wonder fucking why, dude. I wonder why. Maybe because since 1948, Israel has been trying to expand the colonial territory into the Arab world. Dude, Netanyahu announced that the Greater Israel Project is real. That they're trying to expand it to Jordan and Libya and Syria and Iraq and fucking Egypt, bro. Egypt's in Africa. Oh my God. You anti-Jewish or anti-Israel? I have no problem with Jewish people. I have problems with A, Zionists, and B, anybody who believes that they can just murder their way into conquest or murder their way into expanding their empire.
As far as I'm concerned, when we are faced with an existential threat, we have the right to use any and all weapons in our disposal to eliminate that existential threat.
All right, well, fine. America is then allowed to use any and all weapons at our disposal to eliminate a threat, and we deem Israel to be a fucking threat. So would it be justified if we fucking nuked Tel Aviv? If we fucking nuked Jerusalem? No, it wouldn't be justified because the actions of one man's government do not represent the people. You can love your nation and hate your government. I am sure that there are some Israelis out there who are proud to be Israeli, but they are vehemently anti-Zionist. They go, yeah, listen, I want Israel to exist, but as a free independent state, where Muslims and Jews and Christians and atheists, God forbid, are allowed to come and enjoy and look at the land and study the holy... Like, dude, I'm a historian, okay? I'm a historian, but I am not religious. I would love to go to the quote-unquote Holy Land and study and research, you know, but guess what? I can't fucking do that because I run the risk of being either murdered by the Israelis or get like some fucking never-ending eye-in-the-sky surveillance launched on me. It's a fucking joke. And plus, I look a little bit too Arab for Israel.
At that point, to extract...
All right, so we're going to get this queued up for the video.
73. I believe that the Biden administration, as I called it, did threaten us. But I said, you're mistaken if you think there's never a choice. There was a choice. He said, well, what? Is it to have our weapons cut off? I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973.
All right, so that starts at 150.
No, let me bring...
Yeah, 149. All right, so we got that one ready to go. Clickbait, more hate, Zionism, and neo-Nazi allies. Wait, clickbait, more hate, Zionism, are neo-Nazi allies. I'm confused by what you just said, bro. Very. Moses was a flat earther. What? All right, so here's what we're going to do for the video. We've got Netanyahu's speech, or we got people walking out of Netanyahu's speech. We've got a small clip of Netanyahu's speech. Then we've got this Mossad agent saying that we will literally nuke Gaza if the United States of America stops funding Israel. Then we're going to move on to Pete Hegseth ordering the entirety of the United States military's leadership, every single commander that we have, to be in the exact same building in Virginia at the exact same time, and telling the entire world that they're going to be there. And now, here's the thing. A, that is such an insane security risk. And B, this is when they start firing any generals who refuse to bend the knee to the Fuhrer. This is exactly what Hitler did in 1935, which is why we're going to move to that. In 1935, Hitler ordered the entire military to take the Fuhrer oath, and they replaced the oath to the Weimar Republic to an oath to the Fuhrer, which is what this is going to be. Pete Hegseth is going to make these people drop their oath to the Constitution and take an oath to the Fuhrer, and if you don't do that, you will be removed from the military. I've heard about Erica Trump being connected to a nonprofit organization that Romania trafficked a bunch of children. I've heard about that, but I haven't seen any fucking evidence that she's actually banned from Romania, so I don't know. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to cover the Hitler oath, you know, the way that this is how cults operate. All you have to do is replace the idea of your god or your government or your leadership with your cult leader, and that's, you just take the exact same cult-like following. You know, these people are cult-like religious or cult-like patriots, and you take it and replace their cult leader with the new cult leader. That's how you do it. Hi, Beans. Someone in college once described Israel to me as if somebody made a country based off of Johnny Appleseed. Yeah, no, it's a fucking joke. And then we're going to cover, obviously, I guess Adolf Jones. Is that what we should call him? Adolf Jones or Alex Hitler? Which one? What should we call this in the video? Is that Adolf Jones or Alex Hitler? Which one hits better? I'm scared, Chris. Good. That means you're alive, brother. Fear is not an inherently bad thing. Fear sometimes means that you're awake, okay? If you're walking across a highway and you're not afraid, it means you're stupid. Fear is not exactly bad. Adolf Jones kind of goes hard. I might go with Adolf Jones. How are you? What's up with your TikTok? Is it banned beyond recovery? No, well, it's banned and I appealed it, but this is the longest I've ever had to wait for an appeal. Usually I hear back within like 2 hours, but this is the first time I've been banned since the algorithm was swapped over to the Israeli cybersecurity team's algorithm for, you know, like appeals. So I probably will not get unbanned. Hi, Mr. Beans. How are you? Schwarzenkatze. Putin would bring a dog. I got a dog. She's not in here. She's over there. All right, let's make a video. Alrighty. Lock in. You're gonna be in a YouTube video. Lock the fuck in. Ready? Hitler's in town. By that, I mean Benjamin Netanyahu is an hour away from me. He's at the United Nations building. He's just hanging out, which is kind of freaky because I'm pretty sure that means there's a Mossad agent aiming a sniper rifle at me. But anyway, we've got some news to cover, which is the modern Hitler, Benjamin Netanyahu. He's at the United Nations. But on a good news side is people walked out. I think it was like 70% of the audience. I gotta burp. I think about 70% of the audience got up and walked out right when Netanyahu took the stage. And then Netanyahu gave this very Hitler-esque speech about how it's time to finish the job and fully exterminate the Palestinians, which is, by the way, this is exactly what he's been saying he was going to do from the beginning. We all know this. Benjamin Netanyahu is a genocidal maniac, and the entire nation of Israel is riddled with genocidal maniacs. He has like something like 80% support from his fucking people. So we're going to cover that, and then we're going to move a little bit on to a Israeli spy, former CIA, who he's a traitor. He committed treason and started spying for the Israelis. He was then brought over to Israel, became a Mossad agent. Well, this guy just said the quiet part out loud and said that if the United States stops its flow of weapons to Israel, they will nuke Palestine. That's not a joke. He says it out loud. So Israel is now saying that if the United States does not arm Israel, they will nuke Palestine. And what I find hilarious about this is that nobody is going to do anything. Nobody. You know? And here's the thing, if I made a fucking video and I said, hey, why don't we just nuke Tel Aviv? Why don't we just nuke Jerusalem? I would be obliterated. My social media presence would be obliterated, and then I would get Charlie murked, okay? That's what is, that is the reality of what we're dealing with here, okay? Then we're going to move on to this this meeting of every single commander in the United States military across the entire planet has to go to the same building at the same time next week in Virginia, as ordered by our alcoholic Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Not even joking, this has never happened in American history. Every single commander in the United States military has been ordered to come home for an emergency meeting. None of them get to know what it's about, and I'll tell you what it's about. This is what Adolf Hitler did in 1935 when he rounded up the entire leadership of the German military, and he forced them to take an oath to him and get rid of their oath to the Weimar Republic. You know how our military takes an oath to the Constitution? What you're going to see is they will be forced to either take an oath to Donald Trump or lose their job. This is the great purge of the United States military. That is what is happening. So we're going to cover that in the Hitler oath, and then we're going to talk about Adolf Jones. Yes, that's real. That's not Photoshop. That is Alex Jones with a Hitler mustache. He also wore a Hitler costume, and it's fucking insane. So we're going to talk about all this. We have a lot to talk about. My name is Chris Valenti. You're watching the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And remember, this is real independent media. I have no fucking funding. I've never talked to an advertiser, billionaire, or government. This entire channel is funded by you, the viewer. So if you do want to help me out financially, you could become a member by clicking the join button. You could donate by clicking the thanks button. You could buy merch like the Democratic Socialist poster or the Valenti Videos mug. You can use the 40% off discount code for Ground News located in the description below, and you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for 103,000 subs, but without further ado, let's just dive right in here. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a tweet from Hassan Piker. First of all, Hassan, if you ever, I know you watched my content, I think like last week, but if you ever do want to hang out with an Italian, I will grease you up. Diddy. Anyway, Hassan tweets out, he goes, if people did this before my presentation, I would kill myself. And this is what happened. Thank you for the $20 donation. This is what happened when modern Hitler, Benjamin Netanyahu, took the stage. Look at all the people who fucking walked out.
Please, order in the hall.
Look at all those fucking empty seats. Look at all these fucking empty seats.
Please, order in the hall.
So, let's watch a little bit of Hitler's speech.
Israel rebounded from its darkest day to deliver one of the most stunning military comebacks in history. But we're not done yet. The final elements, the final remnants of Hamas.
The final solution! The final solution must be hoisted upon the Gazan people! We must wipe them out, finally, once and for all!
Hamas are holed up in Gaza City. They vow to repeat the atrocities of October 7th again and again and again.
You killed 400,000 people, 90% of them are civilians. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? He's not surprised, mind you. This is what Netanyahu wants. Netanyahu knows that the only way he can be the dictator of Israel for the rest of his life is if they're in a constant state of war. And this is jihad math. We've talked about this a million times. You cannot win a war against insurgents because every time you kill a fucking insurgent, you create 10 more because you just validated their belief system. And the example I always give, I'll give it again. I want you to imagine you're at Thanksgiving dinner. Every single one of you has that crazy uncle, okay? You're at Thanksgiving dinner and your crazy uncle, he's a member of some armed group, okay? He's a terrorist, but at Thanksgiving. Whole family comes. Now, the evil empire knows that your crazy uncle, the rebel, the terrorist, is at dinner. And they go, hey, we know his location. Why don't we bomb it? And somebody goes, but hey, his whole family's there. And they go, well, that's acceptable collateral damage. Just do it. Bomb falls on your Thanksgiving dinner, kills your uncle, kills your whole fucking family, your nieces, your nephews, your uncle, your aunt, kills everybody but you. Now you, for the past 2 years, have been going, damn, Uncle John is crazy. He's a nut job. And now you go, holy fuck, Uncle John was right. That's what this is. You have created a permanent, never-ending conflict, you stupid fuck. And honestly, I don't even think he's stupid. I think that's what he wanted. I think that is what this fucking demon wanted.
No matter how diminished their forces. That is why Israel must finish the job. That is why we want to do so as fast as possible. I've surrounded Gaza with massive loudspeakers connected to this microphone in the hope that our dear hostages will hear my message.
That's literally what the Nazis did. That is literally what the Nazis did. They drove around with speakers playing Hitler speeches. Holy fucking shit, you're a demon. You're an actual demon.
Our brave heroes. This is Prime Minister Netanyahu speaking to you live from the United Nations. We have not forgotten you, not even for a second. The people of Israel are with you.
This fucking vermin is in my state right now. He's in my fucking city, standing on my fucking soil. I've been in this fucking room, and we let this goddamn vermin step foot. This motherfucker should have been arrested the second he stepped foot in New York City.
We will not falter, and we will not rest until we bring all of you home.
You've killed over half of your own hostages, you genocidal fuck, because you couldn't give less of a shit about them. To you, they're a necessary sacrifice. They are what allows you to keep this fucking genocide going.
There's a familiar saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Well, for many countries here, when the going got tough, you caved. And here's the shameful result of that collapse. For much of the past 2 years, Israel has had to fight a seven-front war against barbarism, with many of your nations opposing us.
You are the barbarian. You are the nation that rapes and murders your way through the Middle East. And it is our job to fund it. Why don't you fucking put on some armor and go fight Hamas, you goddamn pussy?
Astoundingly, as we fight the terrorists who murdered many of your citizens, you are fighting us. You condemn us, You embargo us, and you wage political and legal warfare, it's called lawfare, against us.
Oh my God.
I say to the representatives of those nations, this is not an indictment of Israel. It's an indictment of you. It's an indictment of weak-kneed leaders who appease evil rather than support a nation whose brave soldiers guard you from the barbarians at the gate. They're already penetrating your gates.
Dude, this is just such typical Islamophobic rhetoric, referring to literally like any Arab as the great barbarian. And now, here's the thing. You want to know why I fucking hate Israel more than I've ever hated any fucking nation? It's because of shit like this. This guy, his name is Jonathan Pollard. He's running for the Israeli Knesset. He is formerly a CIA agent who committed treason by giving our information to the Israelis. When he got caught, the Israelis snatched him up, brought him to Israel, turned him into a Mossad agent, and this motherfucker just said out loud that if America does not arm Israel, Israel will nuke Gaza.
Cut off. I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. He stopped the aerial resupply of our army at the...
We're going to pause here for 1 second. This guy, do you understand what he's saying? He's saying that he and the rest of the Israeli government are so heinous and so evil that Henry fucking Kissinger thought they went too far. Henry Kissinger, who is quite literally responsible for every military conflict since 1970. And this motherfucker said that Henry Kissinger thought that Israel went too far. Now listen to what the Israeli reaction was to when Henry Kissinger tried to cut off the flow of weapons. Watch this.
At that point, to extract diplomatic concessions from us. And what happened? What happened was an A-4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings. And we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway. And the next day, the airlift started. So the guy that I was talking...
Also, I can't hold myself back. This guy looks fucking disgusting.
Which airlift?
To Israel. The arms airlift.
So in other words, we threatened their...
We threatened to use unconventional weapons. I'll leave it at that.
Nukes. Henry Kissinger said, we're not going to fuel your jets anymore. And they said, okay, we'll nuke Gaza. And he's saying that that is what their option is. Keep listening.
And so he said, is this what you want us to threaten now? I said, absolutely. Except this time I want us to go forward with it if necessary.
He just said that we should tell the United States of America that if they cut their weapons to us, we will nuke Gaza. But this time, we should actually follow through. And you want me to send my tax dollars to Israel? You want me to vote for any politician who has ever accepted a single fucking penny from AIPAC? Let this be a message to Democrats and Republicans alike, Democrat elected official who could potentially be watching this. If we find out you've taken a single penny from AIPAC, we will do everything in our power to make sure that your career is fucking ruined and you live a life of shame. I will go out. You think that my coverage of anti-Trump is bad? You think that I go hard on Trump? Watch how fucking hard I'll go on you if you accept a single goddamn Israeli dollar. I will fucking demolish your reputation, and I will do everything I can to get every other content creator to do it. The bare minimum right now is to say no thanks to blood money. That's the bare fucking minimum, is saying no thanks when offered blood money from a nation threatening to nuke its neighbors. I can't believe this shit. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to move on away from the genocidal Nazi apartheid nation of Israel, and we're going to move on to the genocidal apartheid nation of the United States of America, where our alcoholic Fox News host, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, has taken it upon him to order a rare, urgent meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't do it a service. This is a disservice. He ordered the meeting of every single military leader across, every American military leader across planet Earth to come back to Virginia and show up in the same building for a meeting. And he's giving no details. Two problems here. Number one, this is the biggest security concern I've ever seen. You are advertising not only to our allies, but to our enemies, like Israel, that every single one of our military leaders is going to be in the same room at the same time. Are you out of your fucking mind? Second problem here. What is this meeting for? What could this meeting possibly be for, other than what Hitler's 1935 meeting was for? So I want to show you this. Ben Hodges tweets out, July 1935, German generals were called to a surprise assembly in Berlin and informed that their previous oath to the Weimar Constitution was void and that they would be required to swear a personal oath to the Fuhrer. And Pete Hegseth retweets, cool story, General. He doesn't say, we're not Nazis. He doesn't say, how dare you? He doesn't say anything other than, cool story, General. Don't forget, we're talking about a white supremacist. Pete Hegseth is a white supremacist. He has a Christian nationalist tattoo on his chest, okay? So, what I want to do is explain to you just a little bit about what is going on here, okay? Let's read this. Defense Secretary, let me rephrase this for the article. Alcoholic Fox News host and Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has ordered hundreds of U.S. military generals and admirals to gather on short notice and without a stated reason at a Marine Corps air base in Virginia next week, sowing confusion and alarm after the Trump regime's firing of numerous senior leaders this year. The highly unusual directive was sent to virtually all of the military's top commanders worldwide, according to more than a dozen people familiar with the matter. It was issued earlier this week against the backdrop of a potential government shutdown, and as Hegseth's overtly political moves have deepened a sense of distress among his opponents, who fear that he is erasing the Defense Department's status as a nonpartisan institution. So let's go over this. The German military began to swear an oath of personal loyalty to Adolf Hitler in the period following President von Hindenburg's death in August 1934, with the new, quote, Führer oath becoming law in July of 1935. The new oath replaced the traditional loyalty to the Constitution with a vow of unconditional obedience to Hitler, marking the start of the Nazification of the German military and becoming a significant factor in ensuring compliance with Hitler's orders for war crimes and genocide. So, to the GI watching this, to the Marine watching this, to the member of the United States military watching this, are you ready to take a blood oath to the new Führer, Donald Trump? You're not taking an oath to the Constitution, GI. You're taking an oath to Donald Trump. You're not a person. You're a weapon. You don't have the same rights as me. No, you go where you're told and you fight and you die for the Führer. Happy with that career choice, GI? Anyway, let's take a real look at the Hitler oath. Oath of allegiance sworn by officers and soldiers of the Wehrmacht and civil servants of Nazi Germany between 34 and 45. The oath pledged personal loyalty to Adolf Hitler rather than loyalty to the Weimar Constitution. Historians view the personal oath of the Nazi Germany as an important psychological element to obey orders for committing war crimes, atrocities, and genocide. During the Nuremberg trials, many German officers unsuccessfully attempted to use the oath as a defense against charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. That's the point I want to make. Again, GI. Do you think we're going to forgive you? We're not. You're going to be charged. You're going to go to jail. You're going to spend the rest of your life in prison because you followed orders. Maybe you don't know this, GI, but you are legally obligated to refuse illegal orders. Now, if you're too fucking stupid to know that the order was illegal, not my problem. Now, speaking of fucking Nazis, you know how, like, we call our enemies Nazis and fascists, and they go, stop calling it Nazi, stop calling it fascists. Okay. Stop being them.
I've got to say, I really support Governor Newsom. I also admire the president because he's also a dictator of Ukraine. He's picking up with NATO where I left off when Barbarossa failed because of the weakness of the German people. And so, where Napoleon failed and where the German people failed, I have returned in the year 2025 to give victory. And I want you all to support Ursula von der Leyen, the unelected dictator of the EU.
Battle lines for new world order based on...
We're not watching this whole thing. But I want you to understand what you are up against, okay? Comrade. I'm not being facetious. You are literally up against Nazis. This isn't like, oh, Chris Valenti labels everyone who disagrees with him as a Nazi. No, there's plenty of people who disagree with me on many different policies, and I'm willing to debate with them on that. And then there are Nazis. You know I'm right. Anyway, if you're watching this live, you stay. We got a couple of thumbnails to make. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. I'm sorry that I'm so angry. But I am angry because I want to have a life. I want to have children. I want to raise a family. And I fucking refuse to do that in a fascist nation. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. Oh. Oh. That's a banger. That's a motherfucking banger right there. Netanyahu UN speech. Let's get some images. Yeah, it's thummy time. All right. Yes, Hitler's regime constantly played the victim, said that the German people were acting in self-defense against, like, foreign and Jewish poison. Episode 249 here. All right, let's get this uploaded and let's make a thumbnail. Hi, Beans. Hi, handsome boy. There's someone spamming the Israeli flag in here. Oh, Jesus. You do know the entire planet hates your people, right? You do know the entire planet despises your nation, right? You know that, right? You know that your time is fucking ticking, right? All right. Let's get some pictures uploaded. Ooh. Ooh. Bro, your frames? I know, it happens when I'm on Canva. That's just part of the fun. That's part of the fun here. Bro still hasn't gotten that new PC. Correctamundo. I clicked this because of whatever the fuck was on your cup. You mean that? Oh, you mean the Constitusi. Yeah, that's our Constitusi, bro. Major order on Helldivers is going well. It fucking better be. Hi, Beans. Please help trans people? Dude, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? I'm doing everything I fucking can to try and help. Oh, for chat, not for you. All right, my bad. All right, so this is gonna say, we will nuke Gaza. There we go. So that'll be one. We'll download that because we need two. So the first one says, we will nuke Gaza. And the second one is going to say, you are our bitch. No, how about you will do as you're told, in quotes. You will do as you're told. I like that. All right, let's get this fucker uploaded, huh? Say that again. Throw Syndulla in the break for a couple of minutes so that he stops gooning. Alrighty, and then the thumbnails. You will do as you're told, and we will nuke Gaza. Set test. Okay. Watch. Netanyahu says he will wipe Gaza off the face of the earth. And Pete Hegseth purges the military. There we go. That's good. Watch. Netanyahu says he will wipe Gaza off the face of the earth. Pete Hegseth purges the military. There we go. Israel is publicly saying they will nuke Gaza if we don't continue to fund their genocide. And Pete Hegseth is rounding up our military leaders to take an oath of loyalty to the Führer. Nice. Okay, let's make sure this started on time. By that, I mean Benjamin Netanyahu is an hour... Oh, it cut off the whole Adolf Hitler's in town. All right, well, I'll fix that up. No issues were found with the video, gang. You know what that means? That means I bit my tongue and I didn't say anything controversial. You know what's crazy though, gang? Every day that goes by, I start to understand the authoritarian left more and more. I'm starting to think that we might actually fucking need gulags and re-education camps. We might have to start violating people's constitutional rights in order to round them up and turn them into functioning fucking members of society instead of goddamn crackpot conspiracy theorists. Maybe I'm fucking nuts, but I don't know. I'm starting to understand the gulags a lot more. You know that bills are being passed in Canada to create militarized borders and push racial profiling, just like Trump. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Watch. Netanyahu says he will wipe Gaza off the face of the earth. Pete Hegseth purges the military. Bang. Publish. Publish. I gotta edit. Small little edit here. Trim and cut. By that, I mean... All right. Exactly 1 second in there. Jews be gone? Nah, brother, you're just anti-Semitic. This isn't about Jews. This is about Zionists. Let's preview this. In Benjamin Netanyahu. There we go. And save. We're good to go. I'm gonna roll today. Yeah, dude. You almost had to ban me because of a slip of the tongue. But you are on a roll, I can tell you that much. Ooh, you're on a roll. Yeah, slip up before the video. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, do you understand that my slip up is exactly what Netanyahu wants? Guys, let me try to explain this to you the way that my brain works. I firmly believe that the reason why Netanyahu has tied Judaism to every single action that his government takes, right? Netanyahu says,
Israel is the only Jewish state on earth. We represent Judaism. Everything we do is in the name of defending Judeo-Christian values, right?
I believe that what Netanyahu is doing is creating such global hatred of Israel, and then he ties Judaism to it, right? Because think about it. Netanyahu, the whole reason why Israel has a quote-unquote right to exist as a Jewish state is because of global persecution of Jews. Jews have been persecuted throughout history across the entire fucking planet. And they go, and Netanyahu and the Zionists go, we are in such danger that we need a Jewish state. We need a Jewish state, right? Which is inherently antithetical to secular values. It's antithetical to American values. Ethno-states are bad, right? So what ends up happening is you, or like an average person, goes, God damn, Israel's doing crazy shit. Israel's committing a genocide. Israel's bombing its own people. Israel controls the United States. Israel, Israel, Israel. And then the leader of Israel goes, we represent the Jews. So then the people, they hear that, and if they're not educated, they go, the goddamn Jews, man, it's the Jews. Which then, that is parroted, and Netanyahu goes,
You see? They all hate the Jews. You see, this is why we need Israel. This is why we need to defend ourselves.
He is creating the monsters that he is defending his people from, because as long as there is a monster, they won't look at him as one. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's what this is. He keeps on creating more anti-Semites so that he has a leg to stand on. Maybe I'm fucking crazy, but to me, I mean, that is exactly what is going on. Putin's kind of doing the same. No, but the thing is, Putin doesn't claim that the actions of the Russian government represent what? Orthodox Christianity? Because, like, that's a big thing in Russia. He doesn't act like what he's doing is in the name of God, in the name of religion, in the name of my religious people. Like, that's not what Putin does. Putin does his shit because he does it in the name of Russia. You know what I'm saying? We love Jews here. We hate Zionists. Yeah, dude, I have no fucking problem with Jews. To be honest, and I've talked about this before, I disrespect all religion equally. I don't like religious zealotry. You have the right to practice your own religion. You could do whatever the fuck you want, but as soon as you start to say, like, I'm right, you're wrong, and you deserve to die, like, brother, you're crazy. And now here's the thing. This is my most insane belief, but in my perfect world, all religious praise is completely fucking outlawed. And in the short term, it would cause mayhem, and then in the long term, humanity abandons the idea of looking externally and starts to look internally. Holy fuck, thank you for the $100 donation, Potter. I really appreciate that. It says, they want the whole world versus Israel so God can come down and save them. The scholar, Professor Jiang, they want to speed up the apocalypse. Yes, it's called accelerationism. It's called accelerationism. They're, like, the reason why there are, here's a fact. There are more Christian Zionists on earth than there are Jews. Let me say that one more time. There are more Christian Zionists on earth than there are Jews. That is because Christian Zionists, like Charlie Kirk, for example, or like the entire evangelical base, believe that Israel must be held by the Jews, and it must be expanded to greater Israel in order to trigger the rapture and have the Messiah come back down to earth and start the great 7-year-long Armageddon between the Antichrist and Jesus. This is literally, like, a lot of members of our government believe this, and this is what drives their never-ending ironclad support for Israel. Is they are trying to accelerate the rapture. That's what this is. Fucking crazy. I believe everything is possible, so you can never prove me wrong. Who said that? Wait, who said that? I don't know. Nice. Oh, should we check Trump's truth? Wasn't Charlie Kirk a Christian nationalist as well? Yes. Yes. What, is he playing golf? Oh, he's playing golf again. Flying over Ryder Cup now, DJT. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I feel like that's not, like, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like the president of the United States should not be advertising where his plane is in the sky, right? Pregnant women don't use Tylenol unless absolutely necessary. My mommy took Tylenol when she was pregnant with me, and now I'm autistic as fuck. Oh! 57% of Americans approve. That's not true at all. It's in the low 30s. Where's the volume? What is this?
Ooh, look at that. It says TikTok. My, what is that all about? I'm going to have to start thinking about TikTok. Maybe we got to keep this sucker around for a little while. For all of those who want to save TikTok in America, vote for Trump. I like TikTok. I like it. I said we need to save TikTok. There are numerous ways.
Nah, that thought'll get me thrown in jail. I ain't gonna say that. Breaking! Another President Trump White House renovation is complete. The Palm Room. Just look at it. Absolutely stunning. Especially the floor. Bro, these fucking people are insane. These fucking people are insane, dog. People in quotes, by the way. Is there anything major we can do? Listen, I got friends in the government, and I'll tell you this much. The play right now is to fuel the fires of the MAGA civil war. Right now, MAGA is going through a civil war. There's a huge swath of MAGA that is turning on Trump because of his reaction to the Charlie Kirk assassination. You got to remember that a lot of these MAGA voters are Christians. You know, not like the fake Christian like Donald Trump or fake Christian like Charlie Kirk. A lot of these MAGA voters consider themselves to be real God-fearing Christians, and they follow the teachings of Christ. And they all watched this memorial where the people at the memorial, not the ones speaking, the people there were relatively nice. You know what I mean? There was Channel 5, Andrew Callahan went around interviewing the people. They were relatively nice, right? But then the speakers went on stage, and you had like Erica Kirk gets on there and says, I forgive that young man who killed my husband, which, by the way, immediately just ruined the entire case, by the way. Erica Kirk just went on stage and said before the court hearing that this man is guilty and killed my husband. So I'm willing to bet Tyler Robinson will not end up being charged with this crime. First of all, he didn't fucking do it. This is a CIA hit. Anyway, Erica Kirk goes up there. Christian values. I forgive my husband. I forgive you for killing my husband. And God says to forgive and choose love, right? And the Christians there were like, hey! And the Christians who watched this were like, hey, that's Christianity. And then Trump gets up there and goes, I'm sorry, Erica, but I disagree with you. I hate my enemies, and I wish them the worst. And then Stephen Miller gets up there and goes, you have awakened the great dragon, and we will use great force to round up all of our enemies. And Pete Hegseth is like, we're waging war, and like, the MAGA civil war is upon us because Trump decided to co-opt their religion for his fucked up fascist beliefs, right? And the play right now is to just not interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Pete Hegseth is about to purge the United States military of people who aren't loyal to the Fuhrer. This is the type of shit that gets hogs riled up. They love the military. They love the Constitution, or not the MAGA voters, but the real hogs. You know what I'm talking about? That's what the fuck is about to happen.
Post is reporting Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered hundreds of the U.S. military's generals and admirals to gather at Marine Corps Base Quantico next week. The directive was sent to virtually all of the military's top commanders worldwide. Now, there are no details about what will be discussed at that meeting, which is expected to take place September 30th, the same day as the government shutdown deadline. Now, joining us now is one of the reporters who broke this story, Dan Lamothe. Thank you so much for joining me from the Washington Post. So let's jump right in. We know this administration has directed big changes at the Pentagon. What does your reporting tell us or point to that this meeting is likely going to be about?
This guy's going to probably say he has no idea because nobody has any fucking idea what this meeting is supposed to be about.
Yeah, that's really the million-dollar question right now, and no one, and I mean no one, even like senior level generals who have been directed to travel in some case thousands of miles for this meeting, have been told yet what the purpose of the meeting is. Could
you turn up the volume a little bit? Sure.
There's speculation about whether people's jobs are safe. There's speculation it could be a new defense strategy being rolled out. It's all speculation right now, aside from the fact that this is a very highly unusual meeting to bring this many generals together.
What he's going to do is literally decimate the military. And I mean literally decimate. If you don't know what decimate means, let me get you the definition. People are confused. They think that like decimation is the same thing as like annihilation because it's a good word, but that's not what that means. To decimate means to kill, destroy, or remove a large percentage of. And it comes from the old like historical use of decimate, which literally means to kill 1 in every 10 of a group of soldiers as a punishment. And I think the Romans used to do this. Like if their legionnaires failed some sort of mission, they would line them all up and they go down the line and the 10th guy would be killed. And the 10th guy, dead. And it was to make sure that they didn't fuck up again in the future. I'm not saying that they're going to actually kill our generals, but what I am saying is a very large portion of our military leadership who is loyal to the Constitution, loyal to America, loyal to democracy, they are going to be fired because they refuse to change their oath from the Constitution to the Führer. That's what this is. And it's very important that like in the eyes of the regime, it's very important that they get this done because they're racing against the clock. Trump is old. Trump is fat. Trump is not going to be around forever. But if they can solidify an oath to the position of the Führer, then it doesn't matter who holds the seat. They could give it to J.D. Vance. The military has already taken an oath to the seat. Not to the Constitution, but to the man, to the Führer. That's what this is. That's the final step. Yes, that's the point. Guys, there's a documentary. It's like a 4-part documentary about the rise of fascism in Nazi Germany. It was made by Der Spiegel, right, which is like a news outlet in Germany. I've been watching it recently. It's a 4-part series. We are at 3.5. We're not in the first part. We're not even in the second part. That is long gone. We are in stage 3.5 of 4. We were about 75% through the way that the Nazis took over Germany. At this rate, there will not be an election in 2028. At this rate, there will not be an election. We may walk through the motions, but we're not actually going to be allowed to choose our leadership. Chris, I got a message on TikTok from an account with your name asking me if I was interested in day trading. Is it actually you or a bot? Guys. Brother, do you know me? You think that I would be talking to you about day trading? Are you out of your fucking mind, bro? Guys, listen. I'm never DMing any of you. Ever. Ever. All right? That's not me. It's never gonna be me. It's never gonna be me. What if it's my birthday, lame? Dude, I said I won't DM you. If you DM me, maybe I'll respond. But then you at least know it's my real channel and you sent the DM first and it's not some fucking other channel DMing you. Thank you for the $30. Please take a look at the range day, bro, about Charlie Kirk. I already watched that privately. I don't think you can watch that on stream because of how fucking graphic it is. That shit goes frame by frame, dude. You can't. I highly recommend you all watch that on your own, but I can't watch that on stream, dude. That shit is gruesome. That shit is gruesome. Told me you were gonna give me a tarot card reading. Again, that ain't me. Again, that ain't me. I didn't do that. It wasn't me. Just checked if you had a Twitter account. I do. I have some funny tweets. Hold on. I have a couple of funny. I don't tweet much. Watch what about Kirk? It's like a range day video. Hassan already covered it. Then watch Hassan's coverage. Let's see, profile. Oh, one of my tweets got pulled down because I called Nancy Mace a dirty cunt. Oh, here's what I got. So Laura Loomer tweeted this out. Some shit about bombing the UN. So I said, didn't you blow him? Also, you look like Nick Valentine, you hideous cunt. And she kind of does. Kind of looks like Nick Valentine. And then to Theo Vaughn, I said, oh, shut the fuck up, Hick. You did this. Suck my fucking dick and accept consequences, bitch. And then Nancy Mace, I said, shut the fuck up, cunt. Who the fuck did who did this about? I don't even know who this is about. Oh, this is non-political. I'll show you. This is a speech I wrote once. Well, I didn't write it. I improvised it.
Mr. Speaker. Good evening, Senate.
It's about the Helldivers.
My name is General Valenti. I've been fighting in the front lines of Malevolent Creek for the past 14 days. We are losing. We are losing more Helldivers than we know what to do with their bodies. I come to you today to implore you to make a decision that can save the lives of tens of thousands of Helldivers and potentially prevent the invasion of Super Earth. I implore you to release the reserves. Why are they not fighting? We have seen them destroy the Covenant threat. They held back the Flood. They pushed the Locust hordes. What are we doing? This is not a fight that we can win at half capacity. The automatrons are tearing our boys' limbs off. The bugs are no threat. It's the machines. We need reinforcements. As a soldier fighting on the front lines, I implore you, send us back up.
Period. King energy. And then I made one more.
The water's tainting.
Never mind.
Turning red. The fields are burning.
Oh wait, I did make this. I did make this.
The water's tainting.
I forgot I even wrote this.
Turning red. The fields are burning. Filled with dead. But here we stand. Defending the weak. Here we stand at Malevolent Creek. For none shall grow old, yet none shall die. For here we stand, and here we fight. We ask one thing, for oil to leak. As we stand God at Malevolent Creek.
Banger. Banger. Who wrote that? I fucking did. Who's the best? I fucking am. Oh, Jesus. Good times, good times. Good times. Boots, 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 boots. Anyway. Anyway.
The battle for the next mayor of New York taking a nasty turn tonight. Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa quite publicly claiming that one of his opponents, former Governor Cuomo, has offered money to get him out of the race. Mr. Cuomo vehemently denying that today and saying Mr. Sliwa is lying about all this.
Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, gang. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
This in a race with no shortage of twists so far and with 41 days left before the election. With the latest, here's NJ Burkett.
Republican mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa stepped to the microphones and said the Cuomo campaign and unspecified intermediaries are offering him millions of dollars.
Oh, look, there's what? I'm assuming he works there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Hey, he's got 10 fans. Why is he wearing a red beret? That's actually a growth. That's not a hat. That is a growth. It is attached to him. He has had that on his head since he was 14.
To quit the race.
That's the way they talk. Come on, Curtis. Everybody has a price. Curtis Sliwa doesn't have a price.
Sliwa declined to name individuals, but stood by the...
Dude, he actually is acting like the fucking local crackhead. He's acting like the local crackhead.
Allegations.
It's all Cuomo. How do you know that? I know that. I've had conversations with them. Oh, come on. Cuomo's a flawed candidate. We all know that. But we all have to come together.
Guys, you should be cheering for this motherfucker. He's like controlled opposition, but for free. This guy's doing damage to Cuomo, and he's helping out our boy Zoran. You gotta understand, Curtis Sliwa does not stand a chance. You want him in the race, because as long as he's in the race, dumb fucks will vote for him instead of Cuomo. But he's never gonna win, so it just means less votes for Cuomo.
In order to defeat Mondami.
Every major poll shows Sliwa running third. The latest gives Democrat Zoran Mamdani 45% of...
What did this guy just say? For those that don't know, the Nationalist Socialist Party of the late 30s and early 40s was the Nazi party. Don't call yourself a Nazi while calling others a Nazi. It makes no sense. Do you think the Nazis were socialist? Don't ban this guy. Mike, do you think the Nazis were socialists? Is that what you think? Don't ban this guy. Come on, say something, bro. Come on, bro. Speak up. Be brave. Nothing? Figures. Oh. Shocker. But, yeah, no, guys, the Nazis were not socialists. That was a big part of their propaganda campaign, was to pretend to be socialists based on the last election having the rise of communist and socialist parties, the decline of any sort of capitalist party. And on top of that, the first people the Nazis persecuted were the socialists. The very first people they rounded up were social democrats. And sent them to re-education camps. Then it was the socialists. Then it was the communists. You might be just stupid as shit. You might be stupid as shit. Valenti, your overtly emotional behavior has minimized your authority as the voice of truth. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because Donald Trump is not an emotional man. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm just curious. Do you consider Donald Trump to be a position of authority? And that if you're emotional, you don't get to be in a position of authority? Is that what you're saying? I want to show you something he posted. I gotta find it. Because he posts every goddamn 15 minutes on his goddamn app. No, bro, I'm on your side. I care about your success. Well, dude, but you have a flawed ideology. You think that somebody being emotional makes them less, have them less authority? Brother, every world leader on planet Earth is extremely emotional and they act off of their emotion. Also, human beings operate off of emotion. That is quite literally what drives you. That's what drives the human body. Dude, this guy posts so fucking much. I have to scroll so much. Be more calm and surgical about your display of perspective. Listen, I'm not trying to be rude here, but why don't you get yourself 100,000 followers based on doing that and then come back here and tell me that it works? Because I've created this entire community based off of the way I speak. The reason why people like me is because I don't hold back. It's because I am emotional. It's because I do get pissed off. It's because I'm willing to fucking scream. I'm willing to fucking cry. And there's tens of millions of people in this country who, because of the job that they have and the fact that in America, your job is directly intertwined with your health, with your dental, with your child care, these people cannot risk losing their job, right? So they have to operate in silence. They have to like the videos that they support. They can't go on video and say, fuck you, you know what I mean? I can't get fired unless I fire myself. My job is to be your voice for the people who can't fucking have one. So no, I'm never going to be less fucking emotional. I am emotional. And that's how humans operate. Pete's meeting with is about warrior ethos. I disagree. I think it's a purge. I think he's going to purge the military. Yeah, I already read this, but here's his emotional fucking, calling me emotional. Meanwhile, this is our fucking president. I don't even know if I want to read this. I already read it once. It took a lot out of me. This shit's nutty. Thanks for the $10, Melissa. I appreciate you.
This week, the leaders of France, Britain, Australia, Canada, and other countries unconditionally recognized a Palestinian state. They did so after the horrors committed by Hamas on October 7th. Horrors praised on that day by nearly 90% of the Palestinian population.
Where the fuck did you get that from? You're just pulling statistics out of your fucking ass?
Let me say that again. Nearly 90% of Palestinians supported the attack on October 7th. It's not supported only, they celebrated. They danced on the rooftops.
You mean like you did in 9/11? You mean like Israelis did during 9/11?
They threw candies. That's both in Gaza and in Judea, Samaria, the West Bank, as you call it. And it's just the way they celebrated another horror, 9/11.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Oh, I fucking hate you. Oh, I fucking hate you.
They danced on the rooftops. They cheered. They threw candy. You know what message the leaders who recognize the Palestinian state this week sent to the Palestinians? It's a very clear message. Murdering Jews pays off.
Remember what I said earlier? I am so angry. Do you remember what I said earlier? That this motherfucker will say anything and everything to say any anti-Israeli action is attacking the Jews. You're attacking the Jews. Oh. You know, there is a huge difference between criticism of a religion and criticism of a government's action. And this shouldn't even need to be explained. In a sane world, this does not need to be explained. Every government on earth commits heinous acts of violence. That is just reality. Every government on earth commits heinous acts of violence. But they do it in the name of their nation. So that when the fucking, when the bill must be paid, when the toll is due, the bill is written out to the nation. Okay? It's the government that did it. But when you tie every action that your government makes to one religion, you are asking for people to blame the religion instead of the government. So then any action against this government can be deemed as anti-Semitic. It's so blatant, it's so obvious. I don't understand how fucking anybody could fall for this. How anybody, any reasonable person could fall for this shit.
Well, I have a message for these leaders. When the most savage terrorists on earth are effusively praising your decision, you didn't do something right. You did something wrong, horribly wrong. Your disgraceful decision will encourage terrorism against Jews and against innocent people everywhere.
First of all, no, it won't. Second of all, if it did, you would love that shit, bro. You fucking cheer every time a Jew is killed because it gives you more validity to be a genocidal fucking maniac.
It will be a mark of shame on all of you. But wait a minute, Mr. Prime Minister, they tell me. Wait a minute. We believe in a two-state solution where the Jewish state of Israel will live side by side.
Yo, if I scan that fucking QR code on his chest, am I gonna get like, is my fucking phone gonna blow up? What does that say? What the fuck does that QR code say? I gotta get a better angle of it.
In peace with the Palestinians.
I can't get the angle. I can't get the angle.
Palestinian state. There's only.
Come on. I can't scan it. I can't scan it.
One problem with that. The Palestinians.
I gotta see what. Maybe on Twitter they know what it is. Netanyahu QR code. Leads to a website showing off the atrocities committed on October 7th. Let me close the screen here just in case. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck?
large pin here? You see this large pin here? It's a QR code. What I ask you to do is hold up your phones, zoom in, and you too will see why we fight and why we must win. It's all in here.
You scan that QR code, it will take you to a website that is full of gore porn. It is just videos and pictures of heinous shit. Thank you for the $50. I just watched that. If he's talking to the hostages, why isn't he speaking in Hebrew? Anytime an Israeli leader speaks in English, it is not designed for his people. It is designed for Americans. Jesus Christ. This guy's a fucking demon. This guy's a fucking demon, bro. Oh yeah, did you hear about the Israelis trying to hack into every world leader's phone at the United Nations?
CNN has learned about a plot that could have overwhelmed the city's cellular communications. What began as an investigation into swatting by the Secret Service led them to a server farm.
By the way, did you guys know that when Netanyahu showed up yesterday in New York City, Grand Central Station lost power? The entire thing. Israel literally just fucking does whatever they want. Whatever they want.
And it's one that could be remotely operated by foreign governments and criminals, and this could go far beyond swatting.
So what we do know is that foreign governments and criminals located in the United States are using this network to run their organizations. That includes cartels, that includes human traffickers, that includes terrorists are on this network.
We're joined.
Are you going to tell us which foreign nation put it together? Are you going to tell us which foreign nation created the spyware?
Now by Juliet Kayam. I mean, wow, Juliet, to this plot here. Talk to us about the capabilities of this server farm and how surprising this is.
So it seems like it's out of science fiction, but I think a lot of law enforcement agencies have been anticipating it. In fact, Secret Service has a designated unit at this stage to look at this.
You know what's funny about that? This is like actually what a studio apartment in New York City looks like. I don't know if you guys, any of you guys are from New York City. This is dead ass like, that's like a studio apartment.
Capacity. And what is this capacity? It is essentially unmanned interruptions of telecommunication systems within the United States. So what they found in New York could be extended anywhere. And it's
hey guys, anybody know a nation that has like easy access to New York City? Does anybody know a nation that has like a bunch of potential spies embedded in the United States of America and they have access to New York City and a tunnel system underneath it? Israel. Israel. How could I forget? How could I forget?
Essentially, you're not following.
Dude, I gotta pull this up. Hold on.
What is going on with the secret tunnel found under the Chabad headquarters in New York? Chabad is one of the largest Hasidic groups in Judaism, and just recently in December.
Oh, sweet God.
The police had to use OC spray or pepper spray to subdue them and to get them to follow the tunnel from the basement into out on the sidewalk. Everyone would know.
We just don't know. Guys, hold on.
And then
guys, we just don't know what foreign nation could have possibly set up a hacking system to spy on world leaders in New York City. We just have no idea
through a grate
which
so
nation
come up out onto the sidewalk
is embedded.
Having through a grate so that they could come up out onto the sidewalk.
Most replayed is what that says.
Cut a hole through a grate so that they could come up out onto the sidewalk without having to get the key to the padlock to the cellar doors. The people who are in charge of 770.
This is in Brooklyn.
At Eastern Parkway. When they discovered this, immediately put into motion plans to fill in the tunnels with cement. Unfortunately,
I don't even know how to say something about this without sounding anti-Semitic. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen. And nothing came from it. Oh.
So an ICE officer is relieved of current duties after a violent confrontation.
Adios.
Oh my God.
Adios. Adios.
Oh my God.
I have to bite my tongue. In a just world, that man would have to pay a consequence.
Breaking news. Look at the live scene on your screen right now. Federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility near Chicago. So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And you could see all of the melee just moments ago, and now the federal agents are holding the line
$2
against the rioters. They were 2 feet apart. Now they're a little bit farther apart, and if the camera could pull out, and I know that our reporter agents had to begin firing pepper
real
balls
riot,
at anti-ICE rioters.
There seem to be two
real riot
triaging, if you will, just dealing with the after effects of the gas and the pepper balls. In fact, something I can show you, I'll hang it up, put it right in front of the camera here. Here are some of the rubber bullets that are getting fired out there for the crowd control. It's a kind of a hard, yet not entirely hard. Now, way down that road, that is the space that they
And push them back.
Real riot,
with all really means necessary in terms of non-lethal, because that's what you just showed us with that ball.
Right, the non-lethal weaponry, they use gas, they use the rubber bullets, they use the pepper balls. And then in terms of things that the protesters say, frankly, you've heard all of it before. They say, you know, Nazis, fascists, they say the totalitarian government, things of that nature. And of course, when someone gets picked up, they say that there was no reason for that individual to be picked up. You hear that pretty much every time, and they're not really singing off a different sheet of music this time around.
Fucking dogs. Oh, Jesus. I regret to inform you that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. Chris, I have no idea how you do this every day. It's my destiny. 'Tis my burden. 'Tis the weight I carry. But yeah, I don't know how I do it either, other than the fact that I feel obligated to. I feel obligated to. Oh. At least I'm not alone. You know, I got you guys. I'm not the only one doing this. Promania does this. Adam Mockler does this. Kyle Kalinske does this. Hassan Piker does this. Jezebel Podcast does this. Everybody who actually cares about the United States of America is doing this. Yeah, Denise, I know what you mean. I hate when they call those pepper rounds non-lethal. They're not non-lethal. They're less lethal. You could still kill a motherfucker with that. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream soon. I gotta eat. I gotta calm down. I gotta chill out. Oh, fuck. Palate cleanser? Yeah, I probably have a palate cleanser somewhere. Let's do a palate cleanser. Good idea. Good idea, guys. Good idea. Quick palate cleanser. Quick palate cleanser. Hi, Beans. I think I got one here somewhere. Valenti videos. Oldest. Dude, the flotilla's being attacked. What the fuck? Every single flotilla that has been sent has been attacked. Every single one. They like every flotilla that goes is aware that they're gonna be attacked. That was loud as shit.
Come on, boys.
Killed 2. Two on me. Knocked 1. He's got a minigun. I'm out of ammo. I'm going with my pickaxe on him. No!
Knocked him.
Going around, there's another.
I know I'm on this guy.
Got him with the pickaxe.
Got him. Got the other kid.
Fuck that guy up. Fuck that motherfucker up.
Oh, fucking God.
Sinclair's bringing back Kimmel? Oh, shit. Who knew? Thank you for the $50 donation, Eric. I'm concerned for the country. That means that you are functioning. That means that you have a functioning brain. Thank you for the $50. I appreciate you. Oh, this is back when I would play solo squads. I was really good at Fortnite, bro. I used to go in solo. But watch this shit. Also, let me turn this off so you can see my weapons. Hold on. You see that? That's C4. Okay? I've already laced this fucking area with C4 before the video started, okay? Watch this.
Go get the care pack.
How old is this video? Yo, this is 7 years ago. What is this guy's name? Yo, Snake Bale. Yo, 7 years ago, I fucked you up. You got so fucked on. That was the most Israeli shit I've ever done did. Do you understand what this means? Let me replay this. Do you understand that I knew that care package was coming down on that side? And I put C4 over there, and I knew you would be there, you stupid fuck. Yo, what's his name? Snake Bale? You got fucked on. Like a moth to a flame. Look at him, he goes, you get him up, I'll go get the care package, guys. I think we're clear, it was just a sniper.
Go get the care pack.
You can't touch the bush.
Squad wipe. Squad wipe. I just wiped that whole fucking squad. I just wiped that whole fucking squad. And then I get Charlie murked. Yeah, I get fucked on there, but you know damn well that shit was gas. You know damn well that that shit was gas. Has Jack been in a verbal altercation in the sidelines this whole time? Is that what's been going on? Hi. Yes? Nice. Hey, ain't my fucking problem. He's defending your honor, as he should be. He's my liege. Louis from Denmark doesn't think the U.S. has implemented any socialism in the history of our country. It doesn't matter what you think. That's incorrect. Facts don't care about your feelings. You're wrong. You're just wrong. How you doing, Tenet? You should make a shirt that says facts don't care about your feelings. I can't. Ben Shapiro would sue me. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Costs you nothing, helps me immensely. Don't forget to donate to the channel. Thank you very much for 103,000 subs. You have a good day. All right? Later, guys.
Therapy kid, I'm not real. I'm a figment of your imagination, and the walls are made of cushions.